Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Good. Awesome. All right, guys. Cheers. Oh, you got a beer. How'd you get a beer?
I don't even have a fucking beer. I need a beer.
One. I know. What did you get?
Nils Oscar India Pale Ale.
Oh, nice. Yeah, what are you drinking?
It's a Saison from Stillwater.
All right. And so,
nice.
Welcome, guys. And can you introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'm Chris Lee, one of the co-founders and brewers behind Jing-A.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm the other co-founder of Jing-A, Alex.
All right. Yeah. And you guys aren't from China, right?
Originally DNA from China, but born and raised in Toronto.
All right. And
I'm from Connecticut originally, but also have some roots back in China.
oh, okay. So you started in America, but you ended up back in China. What's the story with that?
Well, we were searching for this great beer. No, I'm just kidding. We moved there actually literally 16 years ago. Didn't know each other, obviously, when we were in Canada or the U.S. We moved to China in 2001, really for an adventure. We were both young, learned some Chinese, kind of get an internship, work, teach English, whatever. Just kind of a new adventure in life. So that's what brought us out there. Yeah.
All right, and what got you into brewing?
What got us into brewing? Yeah.
Well, brewing came a little bit later.
Yeah.
I mean, it came from loving beer and drinking beer and being craft fans, and then we got into home brewing. So it's kind of one of those home brewing stories. Just being in China, where that's all kind of a new thing. So.
Yeah, China's really taking off right now, and there's a lot of experimentation with craft brewery. You're seeing a lot of craft beer festivals popping up over there. What's the scene like in China?
I would say it's pretty vibrant. It's changing a lot. I would say it's still kind of early days in China right now. So if you think about Beijing, it's a city with like 22 million people. We have anywhere between, I would say 4 years ago there were probably 3 or 4 breweries. We were kind of part of the first wave. And now there's probably 10 to 20 breweries in Beijing, but still 22 million people. It's just a really big market, a big appetite for beer out there.
Oh yeah, I mean the largest selling beer in the world is out of China that nobody has ever heard of before.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we've drunken a lot of that.
Yeah. So how did you guys end up here?
So
How did we end up here?
yeah, how did we end up here? We actually, so a couple of things. So we did a couple of things in Copenhagen last year and this year. A couple of top takeovers with Bruce and Tool, and then we also attended the Shelton Festival last year. And we were going to be in this area of the world. We were doing a couple collabs, and we'd sent kind of an email to Marcus. I'd met Frederick in Atlanta, and we said, hey, we're going to be this part of the world. We'd love to pour if you guys have a space for us. And they said, yeah, come by. You'll be the only China brewery, and we'd be there. And it's been great feedback, great support from the fans.
We've been working the merchandising booth, and yesterday we would kind of quiz people as they come along. It's like, what beer should we try out? And I would say 9 times out of 10, the lychee Xanadu was like the one that we should try.
Wow.
And I completely missed it, and I feel like an ass. But first thing I did today, I tried the watermelon, and it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, thanks guys.
It was really, really
It's awesome,
fucking
yeah.
good.
Well, if you want, it's actually still on top of Bruce right now. If you want to go.
Oh yeah.
is
Try
it?
that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what inspires you guys?
That's a good question. What do you think, man?
You want me to field that one?
Yeah, go for it.
Ah, man. I mean, obviously, we're in Beijing. We're very inspired by all the ingredients, the culinary tradition over there. So there's like all sorts of interesting seasonal ingredients, what have you, to play with. But, even coming over this way, we're inspired, to be completely honest. I mean, we're here, we're trying all of these phenomenal beers. We're going to bring some of that back, and for us, this is kind of really fun mashup of like, kind of what's hot globally and then what we can play off of out of China. That's the way I think of it.
It's a fun trade-off, like the flavors from China, bringing that over here, and then taking the flavors from Scandinavia, bringing that back over to China. I mean, that's got to be quite an interesting, I wouldn't say a cultural clash, but it would be a kind of an interesting cultural phenomenon to actually see how that plays out over in China.
Yeah, I think
sure.
totally.
Yeah. I mean, we love coming to these festivals because it's also an area, it's a platform for us to kind of get inspiration on new beers as well, and what styles are up and coming. I was really surprised this year in Atlanta, Shelton, a lot of people were just doing straight up pills.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this movement towards our classical pills again, which is, an interesting thing. So we love watching and seeing what's going on with that.
Yeah.
And then obviously when we're in China, we think about how do we give our own twist to it in terms of accessing all of these great ingredients and the culture and especially the culinary side of things in China, which is pretty...
So what are the hot styles in China right now?
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I mean, we actually brew really a pretty diverse range. I mean, here for this festival, we brought a couple Berliner Weiss styles, but we're known for our IPAs and our pale ales and kind of like the whole range. What's hot? I mean, I think to be honest, the sours are kind of cutting edge over there. So we've been trying to introduce people to that.
Yeah.
But it's still early days.
Yeah.
So those. I think there's still, everything's a few years behind. So they're still into the kind of the pale ales and the IPAs and what have you first and foremost.
I mean, over here in Europe and in the U.S., the Asian beer market is still kind of a mystery. And as far as we know, everyone's still drinking, lagers from
snow.
Yeah, from snow. So I mean, it's great to see you guys really pushing that boundary and kind of expanding the vocabulary of beer. In the area. I mean, kudos, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah.
So, what's next for you? What's on the horizon?
I mean, I think it's kind of more the same what we're doing right now. So we're still trying to make really fun, great beers. We get excited about beers that we love to drink. So we'll do more of that. Hopefully you'll see us at a little bit more festivals around the world as well. And hopefully you'll start seeing our beer pop up in a couple of tap rooms here and there. That's kind of what I think. What do you think?
I think globally, I think that's probably what you'll start to maybe see and feel out here in Copenhagen or in Scandinavia. But of course, we're very excited about trying to change the palates out there in China, and there's still a lot of work to be done there. We've already seen a shift from a few years ago when we started, where it was probably 20-30% of the folks that came into our tap room were Chinese, and now it's completely shifted the other way, where it's more like 70 or 80%. So it's really exciting to see those tastes change, you know. So it's both, really. I mean, we love that, and we also love coming out to these things and kind of bringing a bit of China out to the rest of the world.
So is China ready to take on the European beer market?
Well, I mean,
judging from what we've seen from these guys today and yesterday, I would say they definitely have a huge spot in the European beer market.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, what's really encouraging is, I would say, pouring these beers and getting feedback. There's a lot of excitement around what we're doing. There's a lot of curiosity around China. And the fact for people to kind of understand that great craft beer can come out of China is one of the really things we're focused on as well. So we're not only trying to bring Jing-A forward, we're bringing craft beer culture out of China forward as well.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a great job, and I really look forward to seeing what else you guys have up your sleeve, because today and yesterday has been great, and I'm sure tomorrow you're going to have something amazing on tap. Any hints on what we see in the future?
Unfortunately, we were told to bring 120 liters. We did that.
Oh, okay.
It's out.
Oh, it's gone.
You're done.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
We're done for the festival.
Wow. Yeah, I think a lot of people are that bought Sunday tickets are going to be really sad, because there's a lot of brewers that are out today.
Yeah, we would have brought more, to be honest. I mean, it's almost the same cost. You just put it like a little extra space on that.
Yeah, I think the response this year probably caught Marcus a little unawares in ways that I don't think anyone could have anticipated.
There's been a lot of people here today.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
We really appreciate being on here.
Yeah, totally. It's been really fun hearing about the China craft beer scene, what's going on over there.
Right.
And I'm really freaking looking forward to what you guys are bringing out next.
Well, we do this to a lot of people that we meet here. Open invitation. You guys ever want to come out to China?
Yeah.
Drink beer. Visit the Great Wall.
Check out the scene.
Yeah.
For yourselves.
Hang out in Beijing for a little while.
Come on out.
I haven't been to Beijing. I've been to Shanghai a couple of times.
Okay.
And that's an interesting beer scene as well. So,
it is.
Yeah.
We'll come to Beijing anytime.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to go. Thanks a lot. LOC, how's it going?
Yeah, good, man. Great festival. Great vibe.
Yeah, you having fun?
Yeah.
You sold out?
Sold out. Everything's gone.
Everything's crazy. So tomorrow, you sold out?
Yeah, we're sold out tomorrow. There's no beer for us.
You know what? I feel so bad for people that bought Sunday tickets because they're going to be shut out of luck.
Yeah, I didn't know there were tickets for the Sunday as well, but all our kegs are done.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's a good testament to the quality of your beers, right?
That's true, yeah. And we're new in the business. This is our second time in Sweden, and it's really awesome to be here.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
And there were some LOC cans that popped up in Himaria recently.
Yeah.
And they were amazing.
Oh, well, thanks.
It was Hallows. No. This is the Bomb. What was the one?
Shit, I can't remember the name of it.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
Something about a bomb. That's all I remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was weeks ago. It was delicious. That's all I know. It was a couple of double IPAs. They were really good.
Our double IPA is a train hopper, but not sure.
Might have been that one.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah,
But-
I can't
Yeah,
remember.
we missed a lot of beers, so
Yeah.
who knows? I might be thinking of something else, but anyway. I remember you brought some LOC cans over for a barbecue
Yeah.
we did that you picked up at Himaria, and they were amazing. So we saw you guys here, we were like, holy shit, I cannot wait to try what you guys have here. And like I say, I was not disappointed.
That's good to
You
hear.
guys are killing it. So, how do you feel about Brewskival?
Yeah, it's a great vibe. A lot of people, happy people, a lot of positive energy, and great beers. We're here with world's greatest brewers, and we're just started, and really lucky to be here.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about LOC.
Well, we're based in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
small town, at least small town, Tilburg, the southern part near Belgium.
Yeah.
We're located in an old train factory, so that's why the name is LOC, it's
All
short
right.
for locomotive.
Okay.
That's cool.
Makes sense.
And we're just brewing fun stuff. We have a couple of core beers, but everything we brew in our own brewery is one-offs. It's a 500-liter brew system,
All right.
and all the stuff we brought this weekend was brewed there. So it's only one-offs to Brewski.
What do you enjoy brewing the most?
Well, most of the stuff we brew are IPAs or double IPAs.
Yeah.
Some pale ales, stouts. We did a couple of barrel-aged stouts and barrel-aged saison as well. Those were here at the festival. They were sold out immediately. So that's always nice if people like to drink these beers. We did a Hefeweizen that was sold out within a half an hour.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's one of the few Hefeweizens that were at the festival.
It's got to be the fastest selling Hefeweizen in the world.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know there was maybe one other Hefeweizen here that I saw.
Yeah.
So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, most of the beers here are sours, and we don't do sours yet. We really want to do it, but we first want to make sure that we don't mix up shit.
Yeah.
So, can I say shit, by the way?
You can say, say whatever you want. We don't care.
Great.
We don't censor anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
He says fuck all the time.
Okay.
Fuck.
It's embarrassing sometimes. But like, you know other words because it's a podcast. You want to entertain people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to say what the fuck you want.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Shit, you threw me off with all your f bombs.
I know, man. That's the way I do it.
What the hell?
What's been your favorite beer at the Brewskival so far?
Oh, that's really hard to say, actually. I had some incredible stouts that I never drank before from Angry Chair.
Angry Chair has been freaking amazing.
Yeah, Jonathan Wakefield was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
Did you try the Haterade?
no, I didn't try that
it
one.
was so good.
I
Trevor.
didn't get to try it.
I had some. I was going to give it to you, but you wandered off. Haterade was
Yeah.
amazing. It was like maraschino cherries, but yet like the smell, but the flavor was just like pure, like clean and sweet, and it was so good.
Nice. Well, guys next to us, Bearded Rabbit from Sweden, they had this back to the 90s.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Back to the 80s.
Back to the 80s.
Yeah.
It's kettle sour with coconut, chocolate, mint, and pears.
Holy crap.
It was phenomenal. It was really, really nice. Like you were sniffing it first. It was like it's an after 8 with pears, and I would taste it, and it was like a flavor bomb exploding in your mouth.
Yeah, I heard really good things about that. I didn't make it over to Bitter Rabbit, but I heard a lot of great stuff from them. Yeah, it's kind of funny because you take like your local breweries for granted sometimes. You're kind of like, I can get Bearded Rabbit another time. I'm going to hop over to these guys that I can't get so often. So you kind of miss on some of the great local stuff from time to time.
The thing with that is that even the local breweries bring out really exclusive, like one-offs at this festival that you're never going to be able to find anywhere else afterwards.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it's the same with every festival worldwide. If we're standing in our own hometown, people forget us. And then they walk by and they see, hey, I had never heard of that beer. I'm going to try it. Then word goes around and it's sold out within 45 minutes.
Yeah. I think it was the same with the Jing-A that we interviewed just before this. Their watermelon Xanadu. It's like someone tried it, word got around, and then it was sold out.
Yeah. It was nice if something like that happens.
It was really good.
If people are coming to your stand and like, hey, I heard you have this beer, and then
it's like rumors spreading that you have a really good beer.
And that's what you want.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Especially at the beer festival with 70 brewers.
Yeah.
You want to be the talk of the town.
Yeah. Just for the half hour. After that half hour, when your keg is empty, somebody else can take it.
Yeah, exactly. I think you saw a lot of that today too, because I mean, it would just be like, oh, go here, and then you go over there, and it'd be gone, and then be like, oh, go to this place, so you run over there, and then you barely get something before it would be gone as well. I mean, it's just been incredible the turnout and the breweries
turnout and the variety.
So much
of
variety.
All the breweries.
Yeah.
Well, man, I really appreciate you taking your time.
Thanks a lot.
It was good talking to you.
Yeah, man, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your stay here.
Enjoy your stay here. No, we live here, so we're not going to
you live here.
Yeah. Wrap up for Brewskival one day. This is my first time to volunteer at a beer festival. I got to say,
how'd you like it?
It was pretty amazing. I tried a lot of beer today, and so much so I'm not even really sure what I tried. And I can honestly say I didn't try anything bad.
It's been a pretty dope day.
Yeah. I mean, the great thing about volunteering is that as long as someone's covering the area, you're kind of free to roam about and try whatever you want. And I didn't take advantage of that. I tried to, be respectful of others and really give everyone a chance to enjoy the festival, but at the same time, took advantage where I could and tried a lot of stuff. How did it go for you guys?
Kind of the way to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, last year, this year we had kind of set rotary schedules where we had kind of set 30-minute breaks.
Yeah, but that didn't really hold up.
No. I'm going to say that, well, me and Daniel, we worked, I guess it was like 2.5 hours at one point.
Yeah, straight. You did as well.
Yeah, and you too, yeah. And, I mean, we were both supposed to have breaks of like half an hour between there.
You're supposed to work no longer than an hour and a half. But
exactly.
But I would say that I had a great time. I mean, I didn't mind working. I had so much fun.
Dude, it's so much fun working at the festival as well, because a lot of people are... I mean, everyone that goes there are so compassionate, and everyone is just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
So it's not a... It's not a hassle to work there. It's just like
everyone's
just there.
Everyone's happy. Everyone's enjoying it. So it's really nice to be in the merch stand.
Yeah.
Oh, by far. Because I talked to a couple of people that were working with the breweries, and they were just basically being shuffled around from one area to the other.
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't really get much of a break at all.
No.
There was a few people that worked with cleaning the toilets as well.
Oof.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
I didn't want to do that.
No, that would be hell.
I mean, also because because both Daniel and me worked last year as well, and we had such a killer time working the merch stand. So we put in a request to work that kind of that area again this year. And I gotta say, it's just as much fun this year as it was last year.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. Because ideally you were partnered with someone, and therefore you would take a break whenever your time was came around with the person you were teamed with. But I mean, as long as the booth was covered, it was never so busy that you couldn't. You couldn't get coverage, but the lines moved really fast. I mean, we really cycled through people pretty quick because. I mean, no matter how many people you have working in the area, you're still limited to, the number of cash registers you have available.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just a matter of pumping people through those registers. And personally, I could crank through those guys like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I mean, you still were able to connect and talk and connect with people that were there, but at the same time, you were just like, burning and churning.
People are really nice and like they don't mind queuing.
No. I mean, I think the thing is with Brewskival, it doesn't feel like working.
No, not at all.
It's like you're there helping out, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So speaking of the beer, which was your favorite beers today?
Oh my God, I had so many great beers. I can only name the breweries because I can't remember all of the individual beers.
Yeah.
Jay Wakefield had a great beer. This Italian brewery, which I still can't remember the name of.
Vento Forte
had this apricot sour.
It was really nice.
It was like, it was the most amazing sour in that it had this really strong apricot-y smell to it, but it just finished so light and so clean. It was outstanding. But then I went over to Helsingborg, and they had this.
Their sour was amazing.
That mango raspberry passion fruit sour, which sounds like a horrible mistake, turned out to be.
It was.
It smelled so mango on the nose, but when you drank it, it just finished with this really just fresh raw raspberry. It was
one
incredible.
of the best beers today.
Yeah.
It was brewed at Breweries in Landskrona.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Seventh Son put up some really good stuff. I mean, Omnipolo had some great things.
Actually, I didn't get to try any Omnipolo today.
I must say the biggest surprise for me today was the lambic / Gose from Evil Twin from Japan.
Oh, I heard so many great things about that.
Fucking amazing.
I didn't get to try that.
It was like I was going back my fourth time and it was sold out. So it was probably pretty popular, but it was really nice. It was it was done in a cold ship in the US, and it was it was amazing.
Against the Grain brought out their 70K, which was incredible. I think it was called Black Project.
The sour ones.
Yeah, they did some really great stuff. Honestly, people that brewed sour beers really brought their A game. I can't say that I honestly had anything that wasn't an A+ beer. I mean, every sour I tried was just like, this is amazing. And I tried it like, this is amazing. And then this is,
there were also a ton of good New England IPAs as well, of course.
Yeah,
since that is like the new the new hot.
I was kind of underwhelmed by the IPAs.
It was.
Really?
I think that's because you're getting so used to drinking you're
getting spoiled by
hazy New England IPAs now, so you can get them everywhere, but they're still good. I mean, they were a lot of good hazy.
I'm not discounting any of them, but Cloudwater didn't wow me. I mean,
Other Half I think was doing good today.
Other Half, like everyone raved about Other Half today. That was the one of the breweries I kept hearing over and over and over again. The Other Half was
they were nice.
Killing it.
I think they were both.
And I thought Other Half did really good, but I gotta say, I think you're right. I'm just becoming numb to these hazy IPAs or double IPAs, whatever. They're all good, but nothing is.
No. It's like it's not the sensation you had when you drank a New England IPA 1 year ago.
Right, but when you're in a crowd of like amazing IPAs, how do you even like stand out anymore?
No, you don't.
Well, I think it's a hard style to stand out in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone does New England IPAs now, so
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
and a lots of them do it really well now. So maybe it's a style that will begin to fade away soon because it's like it's peaked.
And it's also like if you do a good New England IPA, then it's going to taste really similar to a lot of other New England IPAs that are good.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they're still nice. They're still
Yeah,
good.
no, I mean, they're great. I mean, and I had some really great New England IPAs, but when it came down to it, the things that really captured my attention were the sours.
Yeah.
I mean, the sours were just beautiful and complex and interesting. I mean, something that kept you coming back.
Yeah.
I have to agree on the apricot sour from Vento Forte.
Yeah,
that was
I missed out on that
so
one.
good.
It was all sold
You
out.
really missed out.
Yeah.
I think the J. Wakefield sour was also
They
incredible.
had two sours. They were both good. For me, maybe a little too much lemonade, but not too much of a beer. But then they sold out and they put on a barley wine.
I heard about that. Yeah, no, that was really nice.
Yeah. That was really
was
nice. J. Wakefield.
Yeah.
They sold out the other ones.
Oh, was that the Mongo?
Yeah, the one that Andre was crazy about.
Okay,
He drank
Yeah,
like
I'm not
five of
a
that.
huge barley wine fan.
Yeah.
I find usually they're too fresh.
Okay, too fresh.
Well, I mean, because barley wine is meant to age in a wine capacity, and so usually if a barley wine comes out, it's too raw. It doesn't have time to age enough. But yeah, that barley wine was really well balanced. It wasn't overly sweet. It was just like spot on. I mean, it was a really great barley wine.
It was,
Actually,
it was.
probably the only barley wine that was available today too.
Yeah.
Because pretty much you only had stouts, sours, and IPAs.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
middle ground. There weren't a lot of. There were a few saisons. There were a few Brett beers, but
Fuses and no Belgians at all. Well, there was a few lambics. One of them was like probably the worst beer of the festival. I won't mention the name, but it was really really bad. And the one from Evil Twin was on the other side of the spectrum. It was really nice. So okay, a few Belgian style beers, but nothing in the sort of like Belgian blondes or doubles or triples or quadruples or anything like that.
no. Were you amazed how easy it was to get access to like some top shelf breweries? Like I just walked up and just got 70K. I mean, there was no line.
I must say, this is a really nice part about Brewskival compared to places like CBZ, and because I mean, even if there are a lot of nerds, there are a lot of normal people as well. So it was the same last year.
Yeah.
No queues for any of the like really high-profile beers. You know, like
I think we started to see some queues this year. Other half had quite a lot.
Other half was
maybe
like,
a Trillium for a while, and then maybe Cigar City.
But
it
Trillium's offer wasn't
I mean,
that amazing. I have to think. I mean, I was not blown away by Trillium's.
No. They sold
Trillium's
out
offer.
pretty quickly, but that's because they were
Because
Trillium.
the Trillium,
because
right?
it's-
Yeah,
Trillium,
but some queues, but still much better, I think, than most other festivals.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give it to Brewskival as well. That it's
It's so much.
it's a festival in
laid back.
Sweden where you can walk up to Cigar City's booth and have a pour of Honeypoo Imperial Stout without any line.
Yeah.
And I mean, that alone
And
is absolutely
so nice.
amazing.
Yeah, and they did not pour cheap either. They filled those glasses up. I was shocked because originally it was supposed to be 1.5 centiliters, and man, they capped it off. Like everywhere I went to, the pours were twice what they were supposed to pour, and I was just kind of like, oh man, that's an amazing beer, but.
I have so much else to go through.
I know, it's too much. I was like, I kind of wanted it to be like a regular pour.
I imagine they were quite surprised themselves.
Yeah.
Probably the first festival ever. There were no queuing for the
Yeah.
which is nice. It's a very very laid back festival, and I really like that the people attending is so mixed.
Yeah.
A lot of nerds, of course, but a lot of like normal people that just like, okay, let's have a good beer. There were one guy buying tokens from me in the merch stand. He was asking, is there any Czech lagers?
You're like,
and
no.
I was like, no, I don't think so.
The
but
closer
there's
you get,
a lot
there's
of
like a
other
Romanian
nice,
IPA
like,
maybe.
Yeah. But I mean that tells you it's like it's not only the nerds. Which is kind of nice. That's what.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is one of the most.
New beers.
Yes.
But
So
this is
that's
one of the
nice.
most international beer festivals I've ever been to, because it wasn't just like Sweden and the U.S. It was also the UK. It was Italy. It was Romania. It was Iceland. It was Estonia. It was France, I think. I mean, it was. It was
Hungary?
all Hungary. Yeah, just all over the place. I mean, just so many different breweries.
Yeah.
And I just think it was, and China was there.
China was there.
I mean, it was just a beautiful, and actually, I didn't get to try it, but I heard that the lychee beer from the Chinese brewery was one of the best beers of the day.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I heard from 4 or 5 people like, "Oh, the beer you got to go try is this one," and by the time I got over there, they were out. But yeah, I'm going to go by there tomorrow and definitely. Look them up, and no matter what they have, I'll definitely try it. But that's what I think I was most impressed about this festival was how international it was. I mean, it wasn't just 1 or 2 countries. They really showcases like the whole spectrum of the beer marketplace.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. And there's just you said like there was Icelandic breweries coming to Sweden to serve beers at a festival. Yeah. It's like where would you see that anywhere else in the world?
That's really nice. I was a little worried that the festival this year would be a little more not as laid back as last year, because it was like really spontaneous last year, but I think from the first day it was just like last year. Actually, it's really nice. There were a lot more people this year because the area is a lot bigger and there are more brewers. But I think it was still the vibe was still like really laid back and nice, just like last year, and so that's really nice. I was worried maybe it would be like somewhat more like commercial and
No, it was definitely not commercial. That's for sure. And I would say this. What's so crazy about it? It does feel like a backyard party. I mean, like it just you walk in and like it's just whatever, and you just kind of hang out.
Exactly. I think that's what made it so popular last year.
It's just like
that's what made it.
It doesn't feel like an international beer festival like it really should be. Because I mean, this is probably one of the higher end beer festivals in the world.
Yes, it is now.
But yet you walk into it and it's just like, it's a beer garden. There's just these fuckers, serving beer around the corner and whatever. And
it's nice.
Never mind that it's some of the best brewers in the world and Sweden, whatever.
Yep.
I think the key word is that it's super casual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so laid back.
I think it also helps that there's breweries only allowed to have 2 taps.
Yeah.
And I think that really keeps it focused. Because I've been to other breweries or other beer festivals where breweries are allowed to have like 7, 8 taps, and then it just becomes like just massive. But if you're only allowed to have 2 taps, it keeps it really focused, really central, really, about what's happening at the moment. And it makes you want to come back for the next day. So you guys are saying like, oh, well, Sunday's going to be dead. But I don't know, man. Sunday might be pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. It feels like the brewers are really happy to be there. Like genuinely happy to be there because they enjoy it. So that's nice.
Well, it's kind of like we were talking to Alberto before, and he was just like, I mean, I get to go halfway across the world just to hang out with a bunch of my friends that I wouldn't meet anywhere else without like having beer.
I'm kind of curious because I heard this sentiment also at the Mikkeller Beer Celebration. It was the kind of, I come half around the world and just hang out with my friends. And you think that's part of what makes European beer festivals different? I mean, I can't speak to American beer festivals, but European beer festivals just seem to be let's just get a bunch of guys together we all love beer, and let's just all hang out and have fun.
Well, I mean, to be honest, the Brewskival feels just as much a get together or a party for all of the brewers and the brewery affiliated people, that it feels like a festival for visitors or guests to discover new beer. And I think it's kind of a beautiful mix between the brewers having an amazing time and just socializing with each other, and it's also an amazing time for both beer nerds and new people who are getting introduced to craft beer to try different styles, and for the beer nerds to actually be able to try the kind of the unicorn beers, or what you want to call them, that they haven't been able to get.
Yeah, there's before. A lot of unicorn beers. Yeah, and
why? I think it's also I think the fact that there's a lot of unicorn beers there is due to the fact that Marcus is such a extremely likable person, and he's just brought these excellent breweries from the US and from Iceland and from Hungary that we were talking about together. And when they're invited to the Brewskival, everyone kind of just naturally wants to bring their A game there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, these breweries' A game is what all of the beer nerds are after. But they also bring their I don't want to call it their just standard issue beers, because it's still good quality beer, but they also bring beer that would be really good for people that are just getting into craft beer to try, and they won't be kind of intimidated by it. Mm-hmm. If that kind of makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good mix of the beers that the breweries bring and the mix of people, and I think that's what makes it a really, really good festival.
Yeah. No, I absolutely had a blast today, and I'm just amazed at comparing this to Mikkeller Beer Celebration Copenhagen. And I gotta say that if I had to choose between the two, Brewskival would be the one I would go to, hands down. It is much more accessible.
So much more laid back.
Yeah. The breweries are still world class. I mean, you're just seeing top-notch A-list breweries, and everyone is bringing their A game, and it gives you just the ability to try. Yeah, even some remote Swedish breweries that I've never heard of before are showing up and bringing some great stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've really, really enjoyed this festival so far, and it's just the first day. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 2 days bring, and then what that unfolds. And we've talked to a lot of people, and a lot of people are very excited about talking to us. So I can't wait to
hopefully
have some interviews going on.
Tomorrow we're going to have a lot more interviews going on.
Yeah. We will have quite a few interviews going on. And if not from today, then we'll definitely have some interviews afterwards from this, because we have some good connections and whatnot. So yeah. So let's wrap it up here. Day one of Brewskival, one of the best beer festivals that probably in the world. We'll say here right now.
Yeah.
And keep drinking.
Keep drinking.